Greetings all, Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy with an update from yesterday's video. Yesterday we shot a short video about this gun. This is a number 111 model 40/27, the second one I've built, and we were having issues with it yesterday with compression. The plunger assembly was not working as rapidly as it should, and it wasn't shooting well. This is serial number 1, also an 11140 model 27. This one works just fine and has the flex lever on it. We haven't made that mod to this gun yet, but I'm working on a new billet lever for it because this little thing here works great. I want to incorporate that into the basic design. But what I wanted to do today was go over with the viewership what happened with the sliding spring block on this gun to make it hang up and stick. Now, this is a regular plunger that goes into 1938B, and it relies on a fixed spring anchor in the receiver of the weapon to function. So when this is installed in the gun, this spring is well forward of here to about this point, and there's a piece of steel that goes through this slot to hold the spring in place. When you arm a Red Ryder, the reason the forward stroke is so tough is that the pickup on the lever is engaging here and physically pulling the plunger back against spring pressure. That's why it is so hard to cock a Red Ryder. But as hard as a Red Ryder is to cock, they pale in comparison to the low pivot number 111s model 40s. They were even worse with a fixed spring anchor. So what we did to solve that problem was incorporate a design from Charles F. Lefevre for a sliding spring block. In this particular mechanism, there is no piece of steel that serves as a rest for the spring. Instead, this little piece of steel, which I fabricated out of 1/4-inch steel plate, rides inside the plunger assembly. And this small piece of steel tube keeps the piece of steel, the sliding piece of steel, in its location where it's supposed to be. Now, what happened yesterday with the unit that I was working on was, because of the pressure of the lever, the back of the sliding steel block is elevated. And you'll see there's a small catch right there, right here at this juncture. See that little lip that's standing up? That lip can't be there. So as a remedial, as a fix, I took a hand file and reduced that profile so that it looks like this now, where it's level across. There's no bump. There's no edge for that offers the opportunity to dig into the steel at the top of the receiver. All right, so that was A part of fix. B part of fix was to take my micrometer and measure the distance, the size of the compression cup. Now, these are older guns. They were built in the 40s, on into the 50s, but after that, the Red Ryders became standard. And as a result of that, they used a different type of compression head. These were sealed with leather, and that's how Daisy did their thing for decades. If you take one of these out of a gun, and this came out of one of these two guns, and put a caliper on it, you'll discover that this thing's pretty much a standard .80, 0.8 of an inch. Not a little bit bigger than 3/4 of an inch, but not as small as you might think. The replacement seals that you can buy that work on this gun are about .82. So I dismounted the compression cup, put it on my my belt sander, and took off about 2/1000. Reinstalled it in the gun, and it runs fine. So, 2-part fix. Make sure that the back of the sliding steel block does not have a lip to catch the top of the receiver, and contour the compression cup to make sure it doesn't exceed .80 inch. That's all for tonight, kids. Hope you have another good day tomorrow, as we always have a good day here at Restomod. Shane Bruce signing off.